some things, to help them understand that if they were, even sometimes when they're 14, 15, 16 years old, and they've been conditioned a certain way, that perhaps that is not their fault, so that they can learn to let go of some things and be able to move on to live a productive, self-responsible life, physically, spiritually, sexually, emotionally, mentally, and health-wise. So, in order to live, a productive, self-responsible life, one thing you want to do is to understand what has happened in your life, and that you are an adult, and you want to begin to realize that your choices and decisions is how you choose to think about things. A lot of times our choices and decisions is based on how we are thinking about things, how we see things. And sometimes if we don't have enough knowledge, information about something, we just might make a decision based off of what is left inside our mind. And sometimes if we do have knowledge about a matter, we might not apply it. For example, if you know you need to lead a self-responsible life and be assertive and proactive by being a responsible adult when it comes to your own, having your own values and beliefs, and what you can do to make your own self happy, then if you're not going to apply that, because it's much easier to live off someone else's values and beliefs, so that we won't have to be confronted when other people are saying, well, I don't believe that way. We're not going to grow. It's not about fussing with the other person that your belief is more important than their belief. It's more so about, this is my belief and what I like to live by, because maybe this makes me create more peace and happiness in my life, and I want to make myself happy. But if you want to believe that way and that brings you peace or whatever, for whatever reason, that's fine. But I want to live this way, and we can still get along, and I will still respect you. That is living the responsible adult life. So, as well, thirdly, if you tend to take on other people's values instead of yours, it can view in detail how and what you think about yourself. For example, why are you believing or acting this way? What would happen if you formed your own belief system? Sometimes, we've had family members that I have in my family, a lot of times, to stem out of what had gone on in our family. I still do have someone in my family who believe their ideas and beliefs are superior over everybody else, and that how they live, everybody should live, and that when we visit them, everybody needs to eat a certain way because they believe that. And sometimes as a child, if you get a person that's very assertive and obsessive and controlling like that, the child will actually take on that person's values and beliefs and still be controlled outside of the home, and feel guilty that they are trying to learn what is important to me. What should I value? And why should I value it? Because they had not had room to grow and learn to think for themselves. It's very, very important, as you're wanting to be more of a self-responsible person and lead more of a self-responsible life. The simple 4 keys is: 1, you want to think for yourself. 2, you want to understand why you make the choices and decisions for yourself. 3, you want to begin thinking on how you were raised, how you were brought up. Why do you believe what you believe? And fourthly, if it's a belief that's in there that you don't want, Write down why you don't want it and why you want to create your own. It doesn't mean that belief is bad. It just might mean you want to value something over what you were taught, and that's okay. For example, in our home, when we were growing up, one of my stepfathers valued vegetables over potato chips and candy. And guess what? He worked at this truck company called Graves, and he brought all this candy home, boxes of candy that would stay in the freezer, and that candy would stay in the freezer for over a year, and it was still good. We were only allowed to eat it for like once a piece, once every 4 weeks or 6 weeks, something like that, because he said that candy was a treat. And when we went to go eat potato chips, we were only allowed to eat a bag of potato chips once a week, because he said that our teeth are very important. That was his belief, his value, and his moral. And we only ate out, I want to say once a year. It might have been twice a year. But anyway, as I got older and I grew up, I said, when I was about, maybe my kids, I'm thinking were around, I want to say 8 and 10, I had lived that way. And then I said, well, we're going to go out to eat 2 or 3 times a week. And guess what? We began to gain some weight, but I began to question my beliefs. And why? Because, he never really said you need to have your own beliefs and establish your own system. And I didn't realize what he was teaching me was, did we do this to stay healthy, and so that you can breathe better as you're moving along. Because as I started gaining weight, I couldn't hardly breathe, and we had never had that problem before. And so I began to understand why it's important to also share with our children why it is we believe a certain way or value something. And it doesn't mean that they're going to keep it with them, but as they get older, they might decide to change it. But anyway, I decided that, okay, I'm going to value fruit and vegetables over the potato chips and the candy. But I still like the potato chips and candy. Well, not the candy as much, but I might get potato chips more than just once a week. Sometimes the first 2 weeks of the month, I might eat them anywhere from every day for a week to maybe 3 or 4 times a week for maybe just 2 weeks straight, and then no more. But it made me feel good that I established my own value system and understood why my stepfather was trying to teach me that. Another good thing is morals. As you begin to learn to live your self-responsible life, what morals do you have? For example, with my morals in raising my children is, I'm trying to establish the moral of, it is okay to be yourself. You don't want to follow other people. You want to respect yourself, but you want to respect other people without putting them down if you believe that they're going the wrong way. Now, when they get older, will they still do that? Maybe so, but I'm learning to help them understand why we're doing that. So that's very, very important. Your belief system, your values, and your morals. Because as you put those in place, it will make you much more happier than just, this is the way my parents live and I just gotta live it. As it come more to light to you, you will begin to understand some real truths about yourself and why you want it put in place. Because sometimes when we take on other people's beliefs and values and moral systems, it does not help us, and we're more apt to become in more of an abusive relationship. So, as you begin to take responsibility, living your adult life, you want to be proactive, assertive, and learn to create your own happiness, your own values, and your own belief system. Okay, so now that we're done with the show, you can learn how to take on a responsible life. I am your host, Encouragement Javi. You're tuned in with the Encourage Services Show on Spreaker.com. If you're interested in viewing more, you can go to Spreaker.com/user, USER.com. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. Spreaker, Spreaker.com/user, USER/encouragement, ENCOURAGEMENT. If you're interested in downloading our toolbar, excuse me, please go to Encouragement Blossoms Services.ourtoolbar.com. That's ENCOURAGEMENT.OURTOOLBAR.com. Encouragement Blossom Services.ourtoolbar.com. If you're interested in free encouragement services, please call us at 1-866-524-4828, extension 2836. The number again is 1-866-524-4828. We will be creating in the next couple of weeks a couple of more episodes about living a self-responsible life, but for now this will be the only one, and when we create it, you will see Living a Self-Responsible Life episode 1, and episode 2 it will be down into 6 episodes, but that probably will not be to between the end of January and the beginning of February. Okay, you all have a great night and Happy New Year to you. And as you're thinking about this episode or have written down some things for yourself, you might want to consider it. Write down your own vision statement about where do I see myself at, or how am I going to create my own happiness. That's a vision that you want to do, how you want to work on your life, what social activities you want to bring in your life. How do you want the dating process or your marriage life to turn out? What things can you work on? And if you have a partner in your life, you want to speak with them and ask them, I thought about this. How would you like to do this? It won't just be you trying to be aggressive with the person, but you can be assertive by creating your own happiness, but also let them in on some things where you see that your relationship, or you would like to see your relationship become more beneficial at. Have a great day. May you have a good new year, and as you go into the new year, remember, as you're putting forth effort to living a self-responsible life, put forth the effort one day at a time. Pace yourself. Don't stress yourself out. Relax. Enjoy your life and walk in peace, calmness, and quietness.